Yo, this is not financial advice. This is just possible scenarios from someone with an opinion that is not a traditional financial advisor, neither by qualification and legal terms or like I don't know. You get what I'm saying. This just isn't fucking financial advice. Just because I'm stating my opinion doesn't mean that you have to literally copy exactly what I say word for word. And I got this cat over here, and it's just pointed out details, but that's not necessarily me crystal balling and saying something's gonna happen. All this shit could go to zero overnight. Um, but like yeah, this is also, I say it's an objective opinion with slight mathematical facts that are technically true, but cannot be easily predicted, I would say. So I'm gonna just get into the video. We're gonna get into how capitulation, Bitcoin dominance, and we're gonna look at the charts and summarize all of this. So, trying to, bro, like, yeah, there we go. So how and why we're gonna discuss length until the Bitcoin halving, ADA bottom last cycle, 2 to 5 months left for altcoin capitulation. Bitcoin isn't, I don't see it really hitting another bottom, but we're talking about altcoins. Yes, they're gonna keep going the fuck down. Their altcoins. The only reason Bitcoin's gonna stay propped up is because people are selling off the altcoins and going either into cash, stable coins, or Ethereum, and then Bitcoin, and then maybe Ethereum. But Ethereum still has some downside left to go. The bottom could be in for Ethereum, but it's kind of like up in the air. I know I made a couple videos about Ethereum going to 500. And maybe I'm honestly at this point with Ethereum, I'm like the low could be in, but honestly, what it could really be waiting to happen is the Ethereum. We're not discussing Ethereum Bitcoin pair in this video, but it's completely possible that the ending scenario of this bear market cycle is that shit comes down like a fucking rock, and Ethereum actually ends up going back to like 800, 700, $500, which is what I would find. Like, maybe not 500. I feel like at this point that's kind of, that was gonna happen. It should have already happened, but maybe like 900, 800. Maybe retesting those lows, just because the Ethereum Bitcoin pair has been unable to put in a uptrend. It's been in a downtrend for a long ass time, and it's kind of like, when is this gonna break to the downside? Is it only not breaking to the downside just because there's so much liquidity in the ecosystem? That's an argument that could be made, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the buying times, 20 to 30 weeks of waiting, because art of inaction. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't get too impatient, but I did take some liquidity out of my main position, and I did it on some shitcoin plays, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I got wrecked. Straight up, I got wrecked, and it's not like more than it's not half of my position or anything like that. But I was like, yeah, I could have used that money, and then of course after that, I realized I can go short, which is, I mean, if it took me doing that for it to play out how it's gonna play out, assuming I'm right about 15 to 12 cents, I'm not gonna be mad, because 12 to 15 cent ADA, 10 cent ADA, like those scenarios. I mean, it's life changing wealth anyway, so I can't really complain about like a slight 4-figure loss. Like, that's not that big of a deal. Like, I've absorbed that shit before. I'm not used. I mean, like, I'll put it like this. I have no problem losing 4 figures. It's just what am I doing? Am I gonna learn from it, or am I gonna do the same shit over and over again? And it's like, at least I learned from it, and I'm not fucked out the market. Because if I was fucked out the market, nah, you just can't be in that scenario at this point. We're in the accumulation phase. I mean, it's still technically my first cycle going through the apathy part. I mean, I was doing pretty good through the bear market part, but this is the part of the scenario where we go sideways, and it shakes out people even that have been invested in this market as long as I have, which is why I'm taking that into account of how I need to chill the fuck out and just wait for new lows. Because honestly, ADA hasn't hit a low enough low, bro. It's only down 92% realistically, and altcoins bottom at like 95%, 96%. Like, and you might be thinking that extra 3% doesn't matter, but that extra 3% down from the all-time high is an extra 50% drop from where we are now. So, like 24 cents to 12 cents, that's a 50% drop. If you have 50K ADA, all you have to do is short right now to get 100K ADA, 100K ADA to $4. Bro, you don't even have to wait for the shit to double the all-time high, bro. You wait until $4. You're running off of 400 grand. You're waiting till $5. You're running off of 500K. Who gives a fuck if it's gonna go to $7-8K, $7-8 at that point? I personally wouldn't give a fuck, but you get what I'm saying. But anyways, talking about Bitcoin dominance, ADA, Bitcoin bear structure, Bitcoin USDT, bear signals, total 1, total 2, ADA USDT, bear signals on all three of those, and ADA dominance bearish. Maybe not that in this video because I probably forgot to. I might have forgot to include the chart, but I also have that that information memorized, so it doesn't fucking matter. So let's talk about the Bitcoin halving. The reason why I'm not concerned about losing said money that I did, because we have time, right? 2021 cycle, 18 months bottom to top. It took 18 months at the halving. No, at the bottom for ADA to top. It took a year and a half. It took a year and a half for ADA to top. Talking about from halving to top, it took 16 months, right? So if we're talking about a bottom last cycle, 2 months before the halving, we have to ask, when is the halving next year? And it's approximately, I made this yesterday. I made the slides like 2 days ago, so it's probably 201 days or 200 days by now, but it's estimated to be April 19th, 2024, the Bitcoin halving. So now we have to ask the bottom in question, right? February 2024, February 19th, 2024, 2 months before the Bitcoin halving. So that gives us 143 days, 4 months, or 20 weeks until potential downside has definitely been in. I have no reason to further speculate on downside past February 19th. And probably by then, in my opinion, because it's not going to be exactly the same, it's probably going to rhyme. If there's not necessarily an equivalent black swan event, I'd say the lows are going to be in by December or November, in my opinion. And I think we don't necessarily have to hit 12 cents. But I think a pending 40-50% drop is about to fuck everything up with ADA. Just because I'm looking at like, what's the bull case, and I'm like, honestly, bro, like there's not much of a bull case left for Bitcoin. I say for the remainder of this year, or for any altcoins. There's not. There's just not. I can't say that ADA is just gonna go sideways here. It's not like Chainlink, right? It's not necessary for an ecosystem. It's a gated ecosystem. It doesn't have liquidity flowing into it, like no USDT, no USDC main chain, only wrap fucking tokens. And it's not like Solana that's partnering with Shopify and Visa, and Solana still is gonna get dumped on because it's a VC token, and well, FTX is still gonna dump their fucking tokens. So I'm looking at it in terms like, yeah, this $8 billion market cap could easily turn into $4 billion. Like, for me to say that, Bitcoin can be like, if Bitcoin drops 20 fucking percent, I'm guessing, like, seriously, if Bitcoin drops 20 fucking percent back down to 20,000, back down to fucking, let's just say Ethereum goes back to 1 fucking K, like, which is completely possible at this point if we're not going to put in new lows. Bro, these altcoins have to drop like 50 fucking percent in my opinion. Cause these altcoins were already dropping on their Bitcoin pairs when it was going to the upside. They were underperforming in the bear market because they overperform in the bull market. Like, you gotta have best of both fucking worlds. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna get fucking wrecked at some point. Like, we've already gotten wrecked, but I like people that are saying, yeah, we've bottomed out. I don't think they're realizing that there's no bullish case for all of these fucking tokens right now. We have legitimately 5 months before the Bitcoin halving. 5 fucking months. And what's the bullish momentum that's gonna come into these altcoins if they weren't overperforming for the most part, 98% of them, during when Bitcoin was hitting its yearly high in the pre-halving year this year at 30K? Like, I really don't see shit happening. And especially while we're in this range between, oh, we're not going to go above 27K, but we're not going to go below 24K. As soon as some shit snaps to the downside, like on Bitcoin, that's a wrap. In my opinion, like, I really don't see how Bitcoin isn't going to fuck up within the next 3 months. Assuming, like, bro, people that keep saying Bitcoin to 40,000 this year, I think they're really fucking retarded. I don't even comprehend how the fuck we're gonna have Bitcoin to 40,000 this year. Next year, yeah, sure, duh. It's a bull market year. But I'm talking about this year. Explain to me how we're gonna have 9 months of fucking green in a pre-halving year. That's damn near a bull market year. So, like, what are you trying to say? That the bull market is gonna end early? Like, I don't get what the argument is, but moving the fuck on. So, we have time, etc., right? ADA bottom. ADA bottom. So, 2018 bottom, 1.7 cents to 2 cents. The ADA bottom from where we are now in the 2018 cycle, from where we are now, literally, where we are now, 20 weeks out from it was either, no, 20 weeks out from 2 months before the halving. We dropped 62 fucking percent. 62 fucking percent. 62 per fucking percent right now, that puts us at 10 cents, bro. It dropped 32% in 10 weeks. Is dropping 38% in 10 weeks to 16 cents possible? We've already dropped 28% of the last 10 weeks. But here's the thing, that's with Bitcoin staying on the upside. You know what I'm saying? Within this upside fucking range. Like, so if Bitcoin actually does go down back to 20K, like, if it does go back down to 21K, it doesn't even have to go to 20K. 21.5. 22. Like, the altcoin market, in my opinion, is gonna get wrecked. Like, it's completely possible because we have 3 more months, and I'd say it's gonna be a likely bloody Q4 because we not only do we have winter coming up, we've got gas bills, groceries, recession risk, got a fucking government shutdown that's probably gonna happen, probably scare people a little bit. I don't know. Right, moving on. Resistance to support. So my main thing here is we're already on the edge of these fucking range lows. Bro, we're already at the end of the mid-range. From 40 cents to 25 cents. Maybe like 22 cents, right? The next lower range, we're dropping from like fucking 19 cents all the way down to like maybe like 7 cents. And for me to say that we're not gonna target mid-range if we're dropping within another lower range, I really don't see how we wouldn't hit something from 15 to 12 cents. I don't get how we wouldn't. I feel like 15 cents to me is kind of a minimum. Because 15 cents, that puts it at 95% down. Now you have a case where ADA is low, could potentially be in, assuming from 15 cents it goes sideways for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, which I find hard to believe, in my opinion. You know, like, I see how, you know, and also, like, the Bitcoin pair is only down, like, what, like 83 fucking percent? That's why I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This shit's gonna drop another 50%. And That's not a bad thing. I just think you have to be aware of what you're getting yourself into. Like, when I was still in ADA, I mean, I'm short right now, but like when I was still in, like even though I haven't disregarded the token, I knew it could have dropped to 15 cents. But now that I've really analyzed the bearish case, no, now I'm waiting for 15 cents. Double my position and double my fucking returns. Like, what the fuck? So we're currently 92% down, which is not enough for me, in my opinion, since most altcoins drop 95% minimum during the bear market, unless they outperform Bitcoin in the bear market, which in that case, then you know it's going to should do well, potentially, most likely in the bull market, which is why I think AGIX is something I'm still sort of looking into, depending on how much risk I want to take for the bull market. Like, at the amount of money that I know I'm going to get, assuming I can buy ADA at 15 to 12 cents, the amount of money or returns I know I'm going to get, assuming that bitch rebounds to like $4 to $5, I'm like, do I need to take that risk? Like, probably not, on AGIX. But that, it's whatever. But like I said before, 3% makes a huge difference. It's staying at 24 cents versus dropping 50% to 15 to 12 cents. Now, moving back. So we're just going to go to capitulation. Oh, shit. Fuck. Just move on. Damn. I really messed that up. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, now we're back. Capitulation. So Bitcoin has had a pretty good pre-halving year, which is like not bad. I don't see why that's a problem. It's just that I say downside is necessary. Right now, Q4 is already negative, down 13.88%. Now, if we're gonna mimic something like this year, I see no reason why we can't end off the year where we started, like a lot of other altcoins are doing. Maybe not necessarily exactly where, but I see no reason why we can't end off the year at 18K. And then as we go to 18K, we literally double by April next year, and then the bull market kickoff. Like, I really don't understand why that can't happen. For me to say that it's gonna be 3 fucking green Q4s, I don't fucking believe you for a second. Like, yeah, we could wake up, but the fact of the matter is, in the 2018 cycle, when we broke the bull market support band the second time in a row, we did see some downside. So I don't know why, since we're breaking it the second time this bear market sideways cycle, that we're not going to see some downside that rhymes with the past 2018 cycle. Now, let's look at the time frame, right? 2 to 5 months altcoins capitulation time frame. Bitcoin dominance took 20 months to top out. We're already 15 months in Bitcoin dominance uptrend. So I say another potential 5 months for it to head up to 60 to 65%. So that means literally another 5 months from now, we have another 5 months for all that liquidity to get sucked out of altcoins, to get sucked out of altcoins, to get funneled back into Bitcoin dominance, and maybe we see Bitcoin dominance at 57% in another 2.5 months. 2.5 months from now puts us at mid-December. I think that would be a perfect time frame, because we don't have the New Year narrative, and then we have people that don't know what the fuck they're doing finally getting washed the fuck out. Straight up. It's honestly, at this point, it's a fucking waiting game. Like, there's no bullish case on Bitcoin right now, in my opinion. There's no, like, I don't really fucking understand where this liquidity is gonna come from. At best, Bitcoin goes fucking sideways. The top is fucking in for this year. In my opinion, the top is fucking in. I can technically be wrong, but I say at the odds of me being wrong at all these downside fucking risk indicators going ding, 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 like, I don't see why the fuck I would be. But it's possible. But altcoins can still go the fuck down if Bitcoin goes sideways anyways. That's why it's like Bitcoin goes up, altcoins on there. It's like what Benjamin Cowan was saying. I'm not gonna act like he's got like a certain part of this isn't about what he was talking about. But altcoins go up. They still don't overperform on their Bitcoin pairs. They still go down because Bitcoin's overperforming. Bitcoin goes sideways. Altcoins go down. Bitcoins go down. Altcoins get fucking wrecked. I mean, he doesn't say it like that, but like, you know what I'm saying. In order to ensure altcoins are bottoming and not having any signs of reversal, we have to look at altcoin dominance downtrends, liquidity downtrends, total 1, total 2, Bitcoin bear signals, USD pairs, dominance uptrend signals, and then altcoin bear signals on altcoin dominance, ADA Bitcoin pair, and then altcoin bearer signals. Now, moving on, right, talking about buying in. 20 to 30 weeks waiting for buying again. Last cycle, most alts had bottomed within Q4 of 2019. But my argument, and I wouldn't say most alts had bottomed, but I'd say most downside price action left had occurred, right? And most of them, some I say a fair amount, not most, fair amount of them did go on an uptrend towards the Bitcoin halving. But because of the black swan, they hit, new lows because Bitcoin hit a higher low, right? My argument there is that a black swan again, and because we're in an odd environment right now that's never been seen before with Bitcoin, with all the QT and QT and fucking yield curve inversion and shit, and GDP, etc., like whatever the fuck, housing, whatever the fuck, economic bullshit. I just think it's not impossible, right? But I think that because there's so much more smart money wanting to get in, I think the bullish catalyst of that ETF getting approved is, somewhat feasible to not let us get as wrecked as we might be getting, or in comparison to the 2020 cycle. Just because it's like Black Swan can come out of nowhere, but I feel like because the access liquidity that's still here, if that's gonna stay at a minimum threshold level, maybe things aren't as bad as they seem, right? And now if altcoins are here because people still have too much fucking money, then if they hit a minimum downside to buy towards the halving, then it's kind of in question, like, all right, like maybe this isn't going to be as bad as the last time. But like, we can't even say that though, because this isn't something that has happened in the way it has for Bitcoin. This is kind of like a first time performance for the economic environment that it's performing in. But moving on, make a safer bet. I'm observing more likely market downturn this year rather than speculating on bull market lows within a clear bull market year. Like I'm gonna have rebought everything by towards the end of this year. I don't care if the low comes in 2 months before. I don't care if the low comes in 2 months before. The Bitcoin halving. Like, I legitimately don't care, because there's gonna be so much fucking downside for me, in my opinion, that I'm going to be able to eat those lows and be fine regardless. Especially with, as alts recover in Q3 and Q4, and definitely in Q1 in 2025. Like, that's what I'm waiting for, realistically. So with the current economic risks, it's possible that we get a similar scenario play out with the yield curve inversion that we've had for the last 2 years, because, apparently, as it's been stated, a recession happens when the yield curve uninverts. And, I haven't put a whole ton of research into that fact or / opinion, but it's assuming that's reality, then I say if the yield curve uninverts next year in Q1, then, like, I guess we kind of have to see what the fuck happens. Or maybe, like, later this year. I don't fucking know, really. It's kind of hard to track. I sort of know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Like, I don't get me wrong, like I do, but I'm more focused on just catching these fucking lows right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, current bearish patterns that Bitcoin has on its weekly and monthly time frames, it's clear that these trends will take some time to play out on the respective time frames within reason, in my opinion. Because, no, I don't think that ADA has to bottom out right at the 5-month time frame from 2 months before the halving. But I do think it's fair game to say that, okay, buying in for me in December is not something that I'm against, right? Like, respective time frame positioning. Cardano downturn, drawdown comparison. 2018 cycle, 98% drawdown. 2021 cycle, only 92%. So, I mean, it's good that we make a higher low, right? We can't just make we can't just drop to the same fucking level, because then at that point, then I guess ADA, like, I wouldn't fuck with it. But my thing is, 2021 cycle only dropping down 92% is not enough, in my opinion. I think, that extra 3% really does matter. Even going as far to say 96%. And some of you guys might be like, why are we buying shit to go down 92% if this is revolutionary technology? My key thesis is that, number one, this is not a blue chip crypto. Number two, this is an altcoin. Number three, the whole point of getting these altcoins at lows is because they do these ridiculous ass gains, and is because you exit at a certain time frame. Nobody gets these bitches thinking that they're gonna stay at these ultimate ridiculous fucking premiums. Like, I legitimately don't believe in that shit. Like, Bitcoin is your blue chip, Ethereum is a blue chip. All the rest of these bitches gotta prove themselves on a legitimate front. Like even Bitcoin, because it's in the position that it is now with the lack of smart money, it still is gonna give diminishing returns over time because it's our leader. But you gotta think about it like this, in my opinion. With diminishing returns, you get diminishing downside. But with the diminishing downside risk, it's also less volatility coming for these altcoins, right? To the upside, especially. So, I say within the next 12 years, if we really want to get a good foundation on what altcoins are going to actually have been made it, I say volatility is going to decrease over time for our top 10 coins that are actually going to be here for the next 10, 20 years. And that's just a fact. It's just, we're in such a golden era right now to where we can see which altcoins have been around, have likelihood to stay around, and have still ridiculous upside while capitalizing on the fact that we're not the late majority that doesn't believe in the tech, but we're not the early investigators that took on more risks than we did. All we have to do is bring a little bit more money to the table to get similar gains. That's in my opinion, I guess, like, the reality of where we are. Right, so moving on. ADA Bitcoin, bearish. ADA Bitcoin currently has a bearish symmetrical triangle pattern playing out. 40% projected move to the downside on the weekly time frame. Pattern it's not 21 days, it's more like 16 days, so like 2 weeks to break up or down. The shit's gonna go the fuck down. There's no bullish catalyst right now, like, in my opinion. Obviously, these things have to confirm, but, like, where's the bullish catalyst? Like, that's why I'm like, yeah, it's not, And it's like, my opinion, even if ADA USDT is going to break to the upside, right, in the short term, it still has a lot of resistance at 26 cents. In fact, today it got rejected at 25.5. It's definitely going to get rejected at the bull market support band at 30 cents if it does beat 26 cents. That could just trap it in a sideways range between 26 and 30, which would be really fucking awkward. But I don't see how that's not a fake out. But that's beyond the ADA Bitcoin pair. If ADA Bitcoin does drop 40% down to like 600 sats, 500 sats, the Bitcoin pair is getting fucking wrecked. I mean, the USD pair is getting fucking wrecked. It's just a fact. There's no new liquidity coming into crypto. It's been in a fucking downtrend for a while now. Moving the fuck on, Bitcoin dominance. Right, Bitcoin dominance has been on an uptrend for the last 15 months. The question is, how much higher will Bitcoin dominance go in the next 5 months? 15% move puts dominance at 57%. 21% move puts Bitcoin dominance at 60%. 30% move puts Bitcoin dominance at 65%. I think the latter, the lowest possible guess within fucking reality. If we hit an extra, 5% gain from 52% high to 57%, then I really don't see how we don't get 57% off a 15% gain or 21% gain or 60%. I really don't see how. It doesn't happen. But the liquidity is going to go back into fucking Bitcoin and alts. Like, there's people like me that are realizing every day, oh, fuck, these bitches are just going to bleed. Fuck it, go short. And that's exactly what's happening across the market participants that are still entertaining this bullshit we call crypto. But, like, moving on. Bearish signals, weekly time frame. So, bearish head and shoulders, target 15.5 in play. Death cross on the daily in play. Failure to get above the bull market support band on the Bitcoin USDT weekly time frame. Moving on, total 1. Bearish signals, a weekly ascending head and shoulders pattern. Target 744 billion if breaks down. Finding resistance at 38.2% Fibonacci level or below the bull market support band. Moving on, Bitcoin USDT has been putting in ADA USDT been putting in new lows every 2 to 3 months, already within lower range of past supports, 30 to 20 cents, as was shown within the 2021 cycle as resistance range, but now we're already breaking that resistance range, turning it back into resistance from support. Broke out temporarily from bearish symmetrical triangle, but it could be a fake out or a path to rejected 30 to 26 cents off bull market support band resistance, or 50, I think it's either 50 week or 50 day moving average, 50 to 26 cents. But anyways, oh yeah, no, it is 50 day. Hasn't been able to use the 50 day moving average, EMA, SMA as possible, support, so highest possible range in my opinion until we reject. Even with this breakout, could be 26 cents. Technically, it could hit the top of the triangle, but like it's so much it has to go through. And I'm like, where the fuck is this liquidity coming from? Like, it really comes back to that question. Moving on, right? Total 2 bearish price action. Total 2 weekly potential rejection at 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. Bearish head and shoulders pattern. Bearish crossing the 200-day SMA and EMA. 50-day SMA and EMA is above the 200-day moving averages, which is a bearish cross. Now, moving on, we're getting into charts. So where's the bull case? With all the current micro, macro, liquidity issues and bearish momentum indicators, I find it really hard to believe that ADA will not make new lows with the current bearish and recession risks. This is not financial advice, but this is just, technical thesis, in my opinion. So looking at that Cardano USD pair, you see exactly what I'm talking about with all set support levels and how we're turning set support levels at 25.8 into resistance, and we have a 25.5 rejection. And honestly, the breakout is invalidated below 24 cents. So like it's not looking too good right now for ADA USD. And that pattern to the downside, you're still looking at something like along the lines of a 30% drawdown, because you take the length of the triangle and you project it to the downside, which would have us around 17 cents. But I think we're going to go lower than that, assuming that Bitcoin USD or ADA Bitcoin could be the catalyst to send us down way worse than what we're projecting potentially with all the issues we have now. Bitcoin, US dollar, head and shoulders pattern, right? So with the head and shoulders pattern, bear signal, it's an ascending head and shoulders pattern. So that could potentially send us back down to 18K. I don't know if we're going to go that far, but I do think 20K is a possibility, assuming that it's only a 20% drop Like we just need another $5,000 to the downside. Like if you guys haven't seen how fast we can move up, like I'm sure you guys know we can move down pretty fucking quick too. So like there's that. This is bearish signal. Right, Bitcoin USDT, stuck within a range, right? We got like upper range, lower range. We're flirting with the lower range right there between 25.3K and 20K, literally. Like we already had a wick into it. I don't see how we're going to get back into the 27K upper range on a serious level, especially with us being below the bull market support band. And we failed to break upwards on a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. The fact that we broke down from a falling wedge, you guys can't see because I don't have the lines pointed out, but I'm just saying the fact that we don't have, that we never had that breakout. Like the high, in my opinion, is in for this year, especially because we're below the bull market support band. That is not on this chart right now, but you can easily find that. Moving on. Total 2, right? Looking at total 2 liquidity, altcoin liquidity. Looking at yet to fold and play out. I say yet to fold and play out. Head and shoulders pattern, potential breakdown to 300 billion. That's like at least like 30% drawdown on liquidity. So if there's 30% less liquidity on every altcoin, then you instantly know with the cascading sell-off and the impending Bitcoin dominance, you can estimate 50 to 60% drawdown on all these altcoins, maybe within the next 2.5 months. This is a long-term short position that I'm taking, but I'm assuming that I have no reason to be bullish. I just don't, legitimately. But moving on, ADA Bitcoin. Looking at that pair right there, like I said, not only is that a bearish symmetrical triangle, you got the 3-day time frame, so 5 bars until the decision apex coming in at 15 days, and we're projecting potentially 40% drop, 40 to 26% drop, even a 45% drop. And if we're currently gonna reject off the 78.6 Fibonacci level, then I say 100% retracement, going back down to 100% retracement, going back if we put on an extension to extension down. There is no Fibonacci extension on here, but you get the point, extension downwards, and just downside price action. And assuming Bitcoin tanks, like if Bitcoin goes down 20%, alright, fuck the 26%, or it's gonna go way past that, probably down to 600 sats minimum, in my opinion. But moving on. Oh, I messed that up. So this is it didn't refresh properly, but that was supposed to say weekly time frame. So like you see how the 93% level is still, like, we're not even at a serious percentage drawdown. We're at like 87% or something, like, for a percentage drawdown. And like we're not even at like 93% drawdown for Bitcoin on its Cardano on its Bitcoin pair. Like, we're not at a serious drawdown level for me to be like, yeah. And then we can easily violate that uptrend support. I don't know if you can see it, but you should be able to. That uptrend support over there, like, that's getting put at risk. The best case scenario is that we hold that for the next fucking 5 months, which, oh wow, like, no, bro, it's not. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't believe that shit's gonna happen. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, we've been getting wrecked on this pair for a long ass time. I've been watching this pair for a minute. It's been getting fucked up, man. It's been getting tremendously fucked up this year. So moving on, this is the bear case for ADA. So portfolio to 450,000, ADA to 15 cents. And realistically, This is, in my opinion, how that's going to play out. 15 to 12 cents. And a fantastic accumulation range. And I'm not the only one saying this. I really do believe that ADA can drop 50% from 24 cents all the way down to 12 cents. Like, it's not that hard to imagine at this point. There's no reason for me to be like, yeah, we've bottomed out. Like, I don't see why the fuck, I have to risk my money now, quote unquote DCA, like, and act like shit's happy and dandy when shit's not. I legitimately think on a fucked front, like, this isn't gonna be too good for the next couple of months. Alright, gentlemen, it's Capital Gentleman. And hopefully, you guys get out of this video, some insight, not financial advice, but potential insight on how people are thinking about the market that are extremely detailed about taking this market serious and not just as a moon boy. I think that, assuming with set capital gains and capital returns, we can do astonishing things to the world and make it, a better motivational place to, not even, I don't know why the fuck I said motivational. I think a better, not making the world a better place, but I think letting men know the hard cold reality of what it takes to get good at an industry, and how detailed and methodically thinking that you have to think. And even after you get those results, there's still a long ways to go to stay at that level, along with knowing that it's still, although it may be as hard as it is, it's still not your full potential on where you can end up. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, Capital Gentleman, I'm out of here. Alright, yeah, I'm Vlad Ethereum. Capital Gentleman, bye.